on fast cars.
Hello, ladies.
This is Women Take the Wheel.
Sit down, strap in, and turn on all you've got.
Nikki Clark is taking you behind the scenes.
You're ready to win. Let me tell you, these cars, they get up and go pretty good.
Introducing you to women drivers, crew members, and fans of the racing world. Plus, Nikki is bringing you the latest racing news in Indiana and beyond.
We're going to bring it to you from the tower as they get ready to pull into the beam.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
All right, strap yourselves in.
Getting off the track and in your ears. This is Women Take the Wheel.
Come on, baby.
With your host,
Here we go.
Nikki Clark.
Hi, I'm Nikki Clark, your host for Women Take the Wheel here on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And today, Madi Turley, a.k.a. Mopar Madi, joins the show. Madi has overcome so many obstacles to pursue her passion to race. A documentary has recently been released following her road to the racetrack. Madi talks about her first time behind the wheel of a race car and her goals going forward in racing. She also opens up about the battles she faces every day and what keeps her going. Stay tuned.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
And welcome to Women Take the Wheel. I'm Nicole Clark, your host. And with me today is Madi Turley. How you doing today, Madi?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I have been reading about you on social media, and oh my gosh, I've got to say, I'm so impressed by you and everything you're doing to get in the sport. I just got to give you kudos first off, okay?
Oh, thank you.
And now, what currently are you driving? You're a driver, and what are you currently driving?
I drive a 2012 RT Challenger with a 392.
Ooh, that's got some speed into it. And when did you start? Now, let's go back a little bit, and then we'll get into your backstory. But when did you start driving, and what was the first thing you drove?
First thing I ever drove, let's see, I'm trying to think. In racing was my Challenger. Me and my family bought the Challenger a few years back when I started driving. And we were looking for me a daily driver. And we could never really find me one. We were really struggling to find me one at the time. And so Mom finally went on Marketplace and found this Challenger. And so I looked at it, and I told Mom and Dad exactly what I wanted in the car. And it was, RT Challenger with a sunroof, T-shifter, and it was black and, everything I wanted in a car.
Nice.
So me and my family took a Saturday to go down there and look at it. And so we got this nice man, and I wish I could remember his name, but I cannot remember his name. Just saved my life. But we went down and looked at the car, and he's like, "Let me go grab the car. I'll be right back." So me and Dad and Mom were sitting there just waiting, and I could hear this loud, amazing car just like idling. And I looked at Dad. I said, "Oh my gosh, is this the car that we've been looking at, or is this somebody else's?" So the guy gives me the keys, and he's like, "Here, this is the car." And I went, "No, it ain't. You're lying." And he like, "No, this is the car." So at the time, I haven't been driving very long. So I told Dad, I said, "You take it for a test drive because you're better at figuring out things if something's wrong with the car than I would at the time." So him and the man got in the front, and me and Mom got in the back. And we're driving down the road, and Mom goes, "Oh, my gosh, I sat on something." And she went to go feel in her seat, and she pulled out a tuner. And I went, "Oh, my God, Mom, that's a tuner." And she's like, "Well, hang it to the guy and see if it's his or it's for the car." And so we get back to the dealership, and he's like, "Well, good news. This tuner goes with your car."
Ooh, nice. Bonus.
And I was like, okay, bonus. But number two, what have they been fiddling with? And then me and Dad started to, being as car nuts as we are, we just started kind of looking around the car, taking the wheels off, just looking. And we started seeing some modifications that other people did to the car. And so, long story short, somebody's already been messing with the car before I have.
Mm-hmm.
And right there, I knew that car was born or was made to be a drag car.
Yes.
So, a few months go down the road, and not a few months, just a few weeks, go down the road, and we're going for my test to get my license to race. I thought at the time, I was going to have to drive my mom's Durango for my test because I didn't have anything to take it besides that. But I didn't. I had my Challenger at the time. Take my test and pass it. Not really go to car alone. And I had definitely not ever raced it at this time. And it was me and my dad. For the time that you had to take the test, you had to have somebody in the car with you.
Of course, yeah.
That was a licensed driver, not a jar driver, just a licensed driver. So me and Dad went down the track at Bristol several times. And actually, one of the passes, the car kind of got out of control. But I kept it where I wanted it to be. And the guy that was giving me the test, he's like, when I saw that happen, and he said, I saw you making the runs and runs, passes and passes. He said, I already knew you had your license, but I still let you finish the test. Well, I got my license that night. And I had a driver come up to me and said, hey, would you like to get in the gamblers race tonight? We're having one just for fun.
And you just got your license.
Yeah, I just got my license at the same time. And I was like, let me ask my parents. But yeah, and Dad's like, well, we got nothing else to do. Why not?
Nice.
He's like, this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
So after pass, I was getting deeper in the rounds. Couldn't believe it. And it come down to first or second place with me and another Jeep. And me and Dad looked at each other, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, what if this happens, number one tonight? And the Jeep had a lot more horsepower than I did at the time, and it was more, when Dodge makes their Jeeps, it's more fiddle with and everything. And I came second in the whole entire event that night. I came second.
Wow.
In my very first race I ever did.
You were meant to do that. Oh.
I wasn't expecting to come second that night, but I didn't care. I didn't win it, but I was just so excited. I come second that night. I just couldn't believe it.
Ah, good job. And now let's go in a little bit because there's a documentary about you that you've made about your life. And it's incredible, and we're going to tell people where they can find it, but you're a little miracle human. You're a little miracle human. Doctors, we're not giving you the best odds, but girl, you're a fighter, and you showed them all. So just go into that a little bit.
Well, my parents, I always say this before I talk about my past life. My parents obviously could tell you better than I can. but what I've been told and what I can remember, I was in public school all through 5th grade. And from the time I was born, from the time I'm talking to you right now, I've been in and out of the hospital all my life.
Wow.
And I have a blood disorder called ITP. Only 5% of people have it in the world, and not a lot of people knows how to, I guess, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no cure for ITP. It's just there. It's where your blood will tank, or it could be just fine. You just have to be watching your numbers constantly over the once a year, every year.
Yeah.
And that's all you do. And I have a low immune system, which means that, let's say, you get the stomach bug. You may be sick for 2 or 3 days. If I get it, it will put me in the hospital for a week or so.
Oh, wow.
My body can't fight off viruses like that.
Gotcha.
It will never will.
Wow.
I was a 24-week preemie, so I had a very low chance of living my very first day on Earth. And that's not the first few times my parents have lost me. They've lost me 3 different times, almost. And some very scary moments in my life. Not, I only can remember one time what happened, but that is about it. The rest of them is when I was really young.
Yeah.
But I do talk about one of those accident, or I guess you say accident, in the documentary. I can't have vaccines because of the ITP and the, me being so small and just 24 a week and not fully developed.
Gotcha.
And the vaccines that we normally get, like where it's COVID or the flu or the chickenpox, whatever it may be, I can't have them. I've only got through, I think, a handful of my shots that you get as a baby, but I don't have all of them at all.
Wow.
Because some of those shots where, if you take a shot, it helps you fight off that. Where you don't get it, I would get it.
Oh.
I would get the virus every time. And it about killed me because it was so bad. And obviously, being ICU at the time when all that happened, so we didn't know why. Because what was making it until we figured out the shots were killing me pretty much. That's all I can really explain it. That's how, I guess, that's the only way that I can explain it without being just, deep into detail. Yeah. But we've had doctors, look at my ITP, and they look at me like, I don't understand. And me and Mom will look at each other like, we understand why I'm getting better and why I'm healing. And, but the doctors will never understand. It's the good grace of God.
100%.
God's brought me through all this. And it's just, I know as Christians it shouldn't have made us, but it just still amazes me to this day what he can do.
I hear you. Same way. I'm like, he does amazing things and you can't explain them all the time.
Nope.
Wow. So you're doing this, besides competing on the racetrack, you fought for your life and you're healthy and everything now too. You just have to, like I said, you have to be aware of your surroundings, correct?
Yeah. Especially in the winter when flu or something like that, I stay home a lot. Or I stay away from people as much as I can. I still get out and do stuff like normal people do. But when somebody's sick, I don't go up to them and, talk to him. I'll stay away as much as I can. And, just checking my platelets every so often. And that's all you had to do is just really monitor.
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. I'll have to introduce you to a friend who's kind of that way. She has the diabetes where she even races with it, and she's got her monitors in 24/7, and she's had to get out of the car before because it's like at the last minute. It's like, well, nope, those numbers aren't good. Sorry, you can't drive. But on the plus side with driving, now you don't have to have anybody in the car, so it's just you. So that's kind of works out. Now let's get back to the track. So you said your family is, they're race enthusiasts. Is it your dad really who got you into racing then?
It's kind of a weird story. No, not really. When I was young, our family has always been car nuts. My papa, my uncle, my dad, even on my mom's side of her family, and my dad's side, we've all been car nuts. And me and my family, if my dad saw me come in with nothing but a Mopar, if he saw me come in with a Ford or Chevy, he'd kill me.
Oh, honey, I'm a Chevy family. I understand. Chevy family.
We have been Mopar nuts from day one. I mean, that's all we drive is Mopar. And so, always seeing my papa and uncle and my dad always working on some sort of car or storing it. Going to the shop at Papa's, what y'all are storing now? Well, it's such and such car, and with this, and we're going to do this to it, and we're going to have this color, and they're always planned out what this car is going to look like. And my dad has restored multiple cars. My uncle has, and my papa has. And I'm actually restoring my very first car with my dad. It is a Dart, and we're doing it as a drag car.
Nice.
So it's taken us a little bit to get it fixed and worked on. We've got most of it done. But money don't grow on trees, so...
Oh, absolutely. I get it. I truly get that one.
It's taken us a lot longer than we thought.
And what kind of car is it?
It's a Dart.
Oh, that's going to be good when it turns out. So you've been racing your Charger then. In the meantime, what class do you race in?
I've been racing my Challenger for several years. I used to remember how many years. 5 years. I've been racing for it 5 years. I race it in Sportsman or Pro. There's two different kinds of pros. There's like foot brake Pro or your other Pro where you have like all the doodads and stuff like stuff. Like the box and buttons and all that different stuff. Sportsman is harder. Very competitive sport. I like Sportsman. That's my favorite. Pro is half track, so you don't go as far as Sportsman. But I really like Sportsman. That's my favorite out of the bunch.
Now, do you want to keep driving that class, or do you have your goal set higher for different cars and bigger cars?
My goal as right now is to get into factory stock. Like my boss is right now. That's where I want to go. And
let people know who your boss is.
Oh, my boss is Dave Davies. He is a big wig at FlexJet, and he races the black Challenger SRT. We look very alike, so you should know who he looks like when you see him.
I know who he is, but I'm just letting the listeners know. But yes, I know. I'm very familiar with him. Yes, I do watch the factory because that's very competitive because it's like all comes to the driver part of it with those cars.
Mm-hmm. And what's hard for my class is we depend on our dial-in. And oh my goodness, I didn't realize how hard a dial-in was until we started getting into this. And I wish I could explain it to you. My mom to explain it, that is her job of the racing part. Mom has always been doing numbers. And so that's Mom's role in the racing, I guess. But with factory stock, you don't use dial-ins. You just run your car, and whoever gets there, gets there.
That's the kind of racing I like.
Yeah. I like that too. And just learning different things throughout the years of racing. Whether it's, people that's, whomping the throttle or grabbing the brakes, and learning what that is, and learning when they're playing with you in the stage lanes, And now that I know what that is, I just kind of laugh at them because it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, you got to play the game.
But I always say, if they start running their mouth, I'm like, let the cars do the talking, because that's where it counts most.
Yes, you got it. You got the smack talk. You're like, let me just show you, boys. That's right. That's right. So who else do you look up to in the race community? Like, who are your drivers that you look up to?
Well, I always say my boss because he's my boss. So I'm going to go ahead and say that if he's listening.
Smart move.
But if you're talking about like top fuel funny car or pro stock kind of deal, gosh, it's hard. In top fuel, definitely 1,000%. Clay Milligan, he is an awesome guy. I got to talk to him and meet him in person, and just got to talk to him. And I was so shocked that I was getting to meet him. I could never say what I wanted to say. And so the next year, let's see, it was last year, we went to Bristol, and I finally got to talk to him like a normal person.
Aww.
But, so, yeah, that's the only thing. I was so shocked to get to meet one of my favorite drivers. I just couldn't speak at the time, and I was speechless. That somebody would take time the other day and talk to me, and just like I was a normal person.
Oh, he is the best guy. I used to work with Clay. I was there for his very first win in Bristol. And yes, I'm like, you picked a good role model. And I'm like, and you're both Tennessee kids. So I'm like, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you got to meet him, because, yeah, he is what everybody thinks they see on screen. That is him. He is one of the genuinely nicest guys you'll ever meet out at that track.
Go back the day I met him and redo that whole entire scene.
Oh.
Because there were so many questions I was wanting to ask, and I was so, shocked that he had the time to talk to me. And I remember walking off, and he goes, "Hey, Maddie." And I went, "What?" He goes, "If you ever need me, you know how to get a hold of me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And I wish to this day I got his phone number.
Oh.
But I was like, but somebody that is a pro driver thinks of something so small as me, it just blows my mind.
Oh, that's another thing I love about racing is we're one big, huge, happy family.
Oh, for sure.
Is there any women drivers that you kind of like, okay, I kind of want to be like her, or is there anybody any other women out there? Or you're going to lead the pack?
I don't know. There's been so many new women drivers started racing.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
And I don't know off my head.
That's okay. That's okay. So Clay's your favorite driver, and you want to get into factory stock driving. And so, are you going to go to Bristol this year? Then, are you going to go back and talk to Clay at Bristol this year?
If I can, I would. I was going to try my hardest to find him. I'll hopefully to get to talk to him in the stage lanes. We'll see.
Oh, I think we can make that happen. I'm sure Clay is listening. Clay, can you help girl out?
Yeah, Clay, you know exactly who I am. You follow me on Instagram. But I would like to have your phone number, because I forgot. And the last 3 times I've been near you, I forgot your phone number. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and his sister is amazing too. I love his sister. So they're his good luck charms.
His his wife is so sweet. Love her
yes.
heart. Actually, I was ordering, and she doesn't know this. I've never told him this. I've never told lie. My only knows is like my parents, and I've still got it in my safe to this day. And it's a little tiny note, and I was ordering some shirts from Clay's shop, and she got this note, and just says, "Hey, we're giving you this 50% off thing because we don't have the shirt you're wanting. So you can, anytime you're wanting to buy something, just use that."
Oh, that's
And
nice.
I was like, how sweet. And I know that was just a little tiny note, but it's in my safe to this day, and it's never going to be thrown away.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
But
you.
I'm just like, right there is just like, I can go back and look at that and saying, even the big people care.
Oh, they do. Like I said, I just love all them. Like I said, I work with them, and he's the nicest people you'll ever meet. So I'm so glad about that. And I'm sure we can make something happen in Bristol. We got to make that happen in Bristol. And, which, by the way, I forget. So you're called Mopar Madi. Is that because you're just known as the Mopar Nut?
Well, yes. But actually, I'm going to try to remember this about the Mopar nut thing. And some people might take it offensive, but I thought it was hilarious when they announced me as this. But I'll get to that later. But the Mopar come from, it was when I was real little. I wouldn't say like little, but I was pretty young. And I was starting a YouTube channel, and I've always been fascinated with like making videos, editing, taking pictures, stuff like that. I've always been a fascinated with social media. And it's something I've always just picked up. And not a lot of people know I have a learning disability. And most of my work, like if it's reading, math, whatever it was at school, I had to have help with it. I felt like I couldn't do it myself, which I couldn't do it myself. I had to have help. And at 5th grade, my parents pulled me out of school because I was getting so sick. And not only just that, I was failing. I couldn't get it. So when I came home with my mom for the first time and done school, I was back down to a kindergarten level, which for a 5th grader, you shouldn't be that far down. And which was so sad. But when Mom got done, when I graduated, I was up to a college level, high school, college level.
You go. Good for you.
And I'm not saying anything bad about the school system, but they wanted to put me in special ed. And I'm not being mean to special ed whatsoever, but I didn't need special ed.
No.
It was just because they didn't want to take the time to help me the way that I understood.
Girl, I'm a Minneapolis public school survivor. I get it.
So my mom took the time to learn me the way that I knew was best. And with dyslexia and dysgraphia, one of them, you see words, sometimes they like jump around the page. And you may say like a word backwards and not even know it.
Yep.
And the other one is like trying to solve problems is really what it struggles with. So like, let's say I can't say a word or I can't read a word. My body just automatically like, well, I can't do that. I'm just going to skip it, or I'm going to try to find a totally different way to do it. Like, for instance, tying my shoe. I know this sounds so stupid, but everybody ties their shoe the same way, but not me. I never could figure out how to tie my shoes the right way, so I just taught myself another way. And it still works this day.
I love that attitude. That applies to so many things.
Yeah, and like it's so different. Like, just so many different things that I would do different than my parents would, because that's just part of how my brain works.
Yeah,
it's just a part of it. And usually, with things like that, they usually say that even though you're not good with schoolwork, but there's a very high chance that you're going to be good with something like automotive and stuff like that. And vice versa with what I would call normal kids. They would have more chance of, like, math problems and stuff than they would with, like, automotive stuff. So it kind of works out in my favor, but if that kind of makes sense, what dyslexia and dysgraphia, when they both decide to do their thing, it's a whole entire mess in its own.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at the Mopar Madi thing, this is when I started, when I was telling you about 5th grade. Dad's always wanted a man cave, and we were working on the basement. And one of our buddies was, he's really more like family to us than he is our buddy. And his name is Doug Collins. And I told him, I said, hey, I'm wanting to start this YouTube channel, but I don't know the name. I thought of all week, and it's going to be about racing. It's going to be about this, and I just don't know what to call it. He said, okay. He said, go back to what you're doing. He said, when I get done, come back down here, and I'll see if I can help you. It's okay. And so I run upstairs doing whatever. And I come back downstairs at the time when he's about to leave. He said, I got you a name. I said, okay, well, let me hear it. He said, what about Mopar Madi? And I was like, this kind of just rings a bell and kind of just smooths together. And ever since that day, that my name has been Mopar Madi, my nickname. That's what everybody knows me as.
I like it. It's catchy, and you remember it. I remember it because you're the only Mopar Madi I know.
A lot of people, they may not know me for my real name. They're like, wait a minute, you're Mopar Madi, ain't you? That name that we can't get our house. Like, yeah, and they're like, wait a minute, what's your real name? And I'm like, it's Madi. It's just added on an extra name.
Just MM, that's all.
Yeah, just the extra MM.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so as we're wrapping things up, what is your advice? Because like I said, you've overcome a lot. You're very inspirational. I mean, you have such a passion for racing and passion what you do, and you obviously don't let anything stop you. So what advice would you have for like another young person who wants to get into the driving, maybe somebody like you who has to overcome some odds? What would be your advice for them?
I've been asked this question before, but I feel like I always say the same thing, which it is true. You need thick skin. But not only do you need that, but you need the Lord on your side, because if he's not in there with you, then we can do nothing. You always have to have the Lord with everything.
That is
and and especially for young women and young girls getting into sport. When I started, I was a cute little kid going in and having fun. But when I started winning, that's when it started getting rough. And so that's when you really got to buck down and say, this is my life, this is what I want, and nobody's going to stop me.
Once again, applies to all things in life, but that is amazing. Mm-hmm. That is, and you're 100% right on that, because people start hating when you're winning. So
yeah, what I usually say too, when you start getting hate comments, you know you made it, so just keep going.
Gosh.
And so
that's good.
And even in my life right now, I have got hate comments before, and I just look at them, and all they're doing is helping me, because not only is they're getting me views and comments on my videos, but that I feed off that to work harder.
Good for you. Oh, gosh. That's why I like you. I like anybody who's got spark and tenacity like that. I'm like, yes, because, it's if people like hate you, it's like, just show them. Just like let your actions do the talking. Love it. And so where can people find, so tell me all these social media, and YouTube and everything. So where can people follow you and even find your documentary?
On Facebook, which a lot of my stuff is posted on Facebook and Instagram most of the time. my Facebook is Madi Turley or Madi Turley Racing. I've got 2 different accounts. One, my Madi Turley one, is just more like you will see racing, but you'll see a lot of my family life too. But on the Madi Turley Racing, you just see nothing but racing. And then on Instagram, I have Mopar Madi, and then I have Madi Turley Racing again. And on TikTok, it's Mopar Madi 06. And on YouTube, it's Mopar Madi.
I'm looking at this website too, and I'm like, I'm just loving the one where the cover of that magazine where you're just like standing just like with your helmet and that tough look. That is awesome.
That, I think, is it the Chrysler Power?
Yeah.
That was the very first magazine I've ever been in. Like, that's what started off.
Nice. Well, I hope people follow you and learn more about your story. And I'm so glad you took the time to share your story. And I think a lot of more people will be watching for you this season. And we'll see what we can do. We can get so you can hook up with Clay again in Bristol and do some more chatting. Because like I said, he's an amazing guy.
Be like, can I redo this?
Yeah. Can we meet again? Pretend you don't know
what
me.
I did the last time. I promise.
You are fine. You are fine. Well, thank you again so much, Madi, and I'm so glad you joined me today and talked to me and shared your story.
Thank you. It's a huge. I've not had an interview in a while, so I'm really excited about this.
Good. Thanks again to Madi for joining the show. And thank you again for listening. I'm Nikki Clark, and this is Women Take the Wheel. Be sure to connect and follow on Facebook when you search for Women Take the Wheel podcast. And be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Women Take the Wheel with Nikki Clark. Follow and subscribe to this podcast now and discover even more great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.